Hello and welcome to Informally Formal. Our today's guest we have had once before, and I am so excited to have him back in our studio. His name is Ahmadul, more popularly known as Bobby. This gentleman has been all over the world, done a lot of exciting things, and we are just so very glad that he finally decided to come back to Bangladesh and set up shop here. He's been back here about 12 years. Done a lot of different things, including several call centers, as a matter of fact. The one he currently runs is called Virgo. He's the managing director. He's also the managing director of several other companies. But more importantly, of course, he's BACO, which is Bangladesh Association of Call Centers and Business Outsourcing. He is the founding president, ran that organization for 10 years. I would like to welcome you once again, Ahmadul, to our program.
Thank you for having me back again. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We always love to have smart people, that can add value and where our audience can learn from. In our previous segment, we covered business outsourcing with him, and it was very, very interesting. We got to learn a lot. So today, we are going to be talking about, in that same digital space, more or less, but we're going to be talking about skilling and reskilling, because we do find in Bangladesh that there is a dearth of quality people. As we expand in the job arena, be it in business outsourcing or whatever. I mean, all employers, when I talk to employers at all levels, one of the things that they complain about is the fact that, our level of graduates are not up to mark. So I will shoot straight down to my first question. Ahmadul, in our discussions that we have had privately, you had mentioned that there is a challenge for you to find people for your businesses, various businesses, but in particular in the digital space, the businesses that you run, they have a tremendous lack of soft skills and to some extent also speaking abilities, even in the local language. Is that correct?
Correct, very much. This is all true. One of the biggest problems we face is that if we want to take people, we have to interview, start with 100 and probably get 1 or 2. So that's a tremendous effort that we have to make, where we have to fill in thousands and tens of thousands of students.
I remember asking the same question to Zara Mahbub, who is the CEO of KITC. She said the same thing, that out of thousands, they just find a handful. So, which is rather unfortunate. So, I have talked to university heads as well, trying to pass it on to them that, there is a gap between what the industry thinks of our graduates and what they think of their graduates.
You're correct. I have also had an opportunity to talk to many university presidents and professors. One of the things that they unfortunately say that, hey, we don't train people to get a job. We give them academic degree. It is up to them how they find a job, which is ironic because majority of the people go and study to go and get a job. Now, we should not blame only the university. One of the things that I asked, how did you, graduate this? How did they graduate in science or anything? They can't even write a proper English. They said, look, I'm not teaching them a language. If I can see that they understand my subject, I give them the points. All right. Now, being in this industry for 10 years, 12 years, I've done a lot of research and thought programming, talking to everyone. What I find is a child from the age of 3 to 7, that's when they learn the art of language, and that's at home. I think it is very important that the parents make an effort to help their children to really learn the language, and that is by answering questions. Kids love to say why. I think parents need to be taught how to be patient and allow them to do that.
You're absolutely right. Education starts from a very early childhood. And then, of course, the teachers, and then as they move on into through school, into universities and stuff, I've often said in my various programs that the two most important things, one is parenting, right? The most important job in the world that people get to do without any training. And the second most important job is when you're educating the young mind, most of them just by virtue of the fact that they've had a master's degree or a PhD, they somehow know how to teach as well. They may know about the subject, but they do not necessarily know how to teach. In any event, I couldn't agree with you more, Bobby. But moving right along, Bangladesh, as you know, we export manpower. And very unfortunate, as you know, that we are one of the lowest in terms of the remittance that we get per capita. Per capita meaning compared to the number of people that we have exported. As you know, I'm also involved with the Bangladesh-Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and they happen to be a big manpower exporter as well. But they bring home tons, loads more money than we do. So there again, I know it's a little shift from our discussion, Bobby, but I wanted to pick your brain on that. That wouldn't that be so nice if we could, upskill our migrant workers so they're able to send home a lot more money?
Absolutely. I mean, majority of our young people who goes to the Middle East, they are going as a non-technical, they're doing work. Right now they have built their buildings, they have all the offices, it's all done. Now, how can we now train people to manage that building? They need people to maintain it. They need people, accountants. They need people, by being there, they already have learned the local language, not only language, the local dialects. So it is very important. I think the government should take an initiative to have them retrained so that they can apply for the higher paying jobs, and hence they can remit much more than they are doing right now. And that's right across the world. I mean, that is one of the areas which we are very least looked at. However, the vocational training in Bangladesh is picking up very well.
Right, Bobby. Let me ask you, with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution and the changes that will entail, how are you, through your efforts, and how should Bangladesh prepare for that?
A couple of things that we are seeing in changes, specifically in our industry. We are seeing that the voice is becoming less and less required because of right now the voice recognition softwares are coming in. All right. However, one of the things that a lot of people think that automation will make people redundant, and that is not the case. We are seeing. What we are seeing is that automation, robotics, it can only enhance a person's work. So you do need human intervention. So robotics and everything is very good if there is a very specific work and but in a dynamic environment, you are not able to use. You need to have human intervention into that. So we are quite positive. We are changing our people are getting upskilled, but mostly upskilling is happening in the mid-managers. So one of the problems we face is that people don't like to manage people, so that is there. But for the fourth industrial revolution that you brought in, robotics, AI, these are areas that there is an interest. But currently, the biggest challenge that we are having right now is finding the right people for cybersecurity area. Our estimate is that we need about 100,000 cybersecurity experts for Bangladesh only, where we only have very handful. Less than 100, you could say, they were really certified at a level, international level.
In your particular space, Bobby, what skill sets outside of the technical skills that you would like to see, which is good pronunciation, writing skills, reading skills, and what have you. Outside of that, what are the skill sets would you want your people to have?
Well, key for them is to be able to listen. One of the biggest challenges that we have of our young people, especially the customers, is they don't listen. They tend to stop listening as soon as they think that they have to jump in the discussion. So that training has to happen. So listening skills is going to be very key, but also their knowledge, not only just book knowledge, their knowledge of the world, what is happening, so that they're able to create high-level jobs, high-paying jobs, where we have to write reports for companies from abroad. So that is the only way we can go out.
You know, I started my career as an educator in America. So my first job really was, I taught at a university for 3 years before I went into the corporate arena. So education, learning, and all of that stuff is very dear to me, very close to me. And unfortunately, though, I find just going through a process to get a paper degree doesn't mean much. You have to inculcate the love of learning in people. So in closing, very quickly, Bobby, just in a couple of minutes, what do you think we ought to do to create that where people, in this day and age of social media, everyone is like so interested in just superficial things, and you post some kind of a joke or someone singing or dancing and what have you, and you'll have 1 million likes. Put something educational, no bites. How do you create that interest?
Well, currently, one of my project has where we are putting students at the center of everything. Right? Now, what I mean by that is that it is their ability, their interest is more important to us than what the parents or what the society wants them to. So what it means is that if they are good at English or good at mathematics, let them start taking higher and higher and higher math. It doesn't matter what age they are, all right? And let them do it. I was talking to my president of the university I went in Texas, and he was telling me now that people can design their own degree. They don't have to be pigeonholed into one degrees to other one. They can look at their interest, what they feel, and then they bring those together, and then they're given a degree. That is where it is going. People are going to be looking at it. And one of the things that I always say, the parents are the worst career advisors because they are advising 30 years before what they have done. So it is important that they look at what type of careers are there. So every day there is a changing, especially in the IT. It's not just you are a IT specialist or a software developer or a hardware developer. There are hundreds of different areas within the IT that you can specialize. So I'm sure in the other sectors it's similar from part of it. So let the kids decide, give them the right opportunity. I'm positive that they will be the one that will do the best.
Very, very true, very true. Unfortunately, we're out of time here. Bobby, it's always a pleasure. Would look forward to having you again, hopefully soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. You stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next segment. Bye-bye.